Chicago Med School, had very good luck with remdesivir. That's the Gilead drug. I'm waiting to hear the rest of Gilead. If it goes like that, there's 5 hospital trials, then I think our negativity about April is going to be turned into something which just says, all right, maybe the Georgia governor was a little too aggressive, but maybe things aren't so horrible. I struggle. I just don't think it's as horrible. The unemployment number is clearly bad, but maybe there's some good news coming medically that I think is not being talked about enough.
So the question, though, that I just asked you about that, and we had the CEO of Eli Lilly on, most of the drugs that are in production, that are being worked on, it's hard to see how they would make it out into the wild, into the public in any kind of meaningful way until, frankly, really the fourth quarter of this year. Maybe that's enough, you think, for the market. But in terms of changing people's behavior, I'm not sure that's built into the market right now. I think there's a sense in the marketplace that come the end of this summer, people are going to go back to some normal, no?
Well, Dr. Fauci completely just made us feel awful again by talking about how horrible it's going to be in the fall. These press conferences or shows, whatever you call that, are now unwatchable. They're unwatchable because you can't tell whether things are great or things are catastrophic. So I'd rather just turn them off and focus on 1984 NCAA finals. But I would say that we are waiting for Gilead news, and that would not be something that's fourth quarter. That would be something that would immediately be implemented. And I find it interesting that the hospitals are talking about, please come back. Don't feel like it's a death sentence just to come in and get your knee done. So I'm looking at better news medically, except for when I pick up the New York Times and it turns out that we are so clueless about this thing. But maybe if we're so clueless, and you have all these great people like David Ricks, they're trying their RA drug. Yeah, I agree. Like their RA drug, I mean, really? But David Ricks is such a serious guy. We have the smartest people in the world who don't work in social media, of course, and are in computer scientists, working on this problem. And I refuse to believe that they're just a bunch of knuckleheads. They got to know more. I mean, is it really just about whether we're going to have a hair salon open in Georgia? Aren't some of these people going to come through with some breakthrough? And I'm not talking about a vaccine. That I clearly think is Moderna, I think, is the earliest. Is it okay to be hopeful? I guess that's what I'm asking. Or should we take that off the table and be despairing and just be one text away from not killing ourselves?
No, we all want to have hope. We all want to have hope. But we also just need to come up with a realistic timeline for that. I think we do. Jim, I know I need the hope.
We need the hope,
Jim.
But, Jim, some businesses won't be back. Andrew's cutting his own hair now. So, I mean, will you go and pay someone from here? I mean, some of these businesses are...
That's about the only breakthrough I've had since my mom was dying. Is her birthday 35 years ago. I lost all my hair within about a month and a half of when she was dying.
You're set.
And it was the only blessing that's happened to me during that whole horrible period. But I'm saying I want to be optimistic. I don't want to be one text away from telling someone. My daughter was worked with suicidal kids for a long time. I don't want to be a suicidal 65-year-old. I want to say, hey, you know what? There's some hope. There is. I mean, we've got ads on which just say, listen, if you're 65, basically, okay, it was nice to meet you. No, I'm actually hoping that Gilead has something.
That's got to be our default position, Jim. I will be in a plane going somewhere I want to go soon, at some point. Maybe not soon, but at some point. I'm doing it. That's my default position.
You know what? My wife sent me a picture of me in Italy, and she goes, will this ever happen again? I woke up to that. And I came back, I said yes, and I'm the dreamer that I might go to Italy someday. Right. I don't know. I'm sorry. Excuse me for thinking that life didn't end on Feb 1, or now we turned out to be Jan 23rd, or in some sort of laboratory that may or may not have leaked some virus that made it so a bat in a bowl of soup is killing us. Not going there. Sorry.
All right, Jim.
I did cut my own hair. It was horrible.
No,